All right, not gonna do a major grand intro. Long story short, I got Warren here, and this is a special episode of the Coach's Corner, originally known as Detail. We're gonna sit down for the first time with the man himself, Warren, and go over his game. You know, something that he kind of wanted to do is just kind of talk a little bit about just the flow of the game. It's good to hear what they're thinking. Throughout the game, some of the adjustments that he's made, and just kind of talk Madden. So, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me. I'm. It's pretty cool to, after the Super Bowl was played, I actually watched it back and try to, see what I was thinking then to what actually kind of played out, and it's pretty interesting, just all together. So I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, I'm kind of blind. I saw it once and obviously reacted to it, but it'll be fun to kind of pick it apart a little bit. So, we'll just hit play where we need to stop. We'll stop uh, and break them down. So, one of the things that I
Yeah.
noted was how well he ran early in this first drive.
So I thought I set the tone with the hit stick. I reset my router, I hard reset my Xbox. Like I was not playing around. Like I wanted like no input lag. So
All right.
the going into the game, obviously Danny is, one of the best players, and when he's comfortable, he does whatever he wants, right? He really can just move the ball at ease. So I kind of went back and I watched his game versus Kyle, and I kind of just picked up on a couple things that he liked to do. And he likes to throw the ball very, very quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
He likes to throw quick drags. He reads from like the flat up, like so that bell in the flat. Then he'll read up. Outside of that, it's mainly that, and he tries to throw seams like cover two things in like the deep side lines, and that's all I really saw. So I said, okay, let me kind of go into this and try to show that, give that look, and you'll see later in the game on a big play kind of how it all kind of came together, which was pretty neat.
Right. This is one of the things that I guess kind of just to come back out on the this play. It's 2nd and 1, and you come out in like 3-3-5. Like whenever I criticize you about like the whole run thing, like this is what I mean. It's not that you're bad, but you don't do what Danny does, which is look at what you're doing with Leonard. This is just something I've seen is you just kind of wait. You kind of by doing that, sometimes you kind of force people out of the gaps because they're so busy watching the user, they fuck up. But like Danny shoots gaps and you will wait, and that's what I think is kind of the demise. It's like 2nd and 1, but it's early. You'd rather give up a 10-yard run than like come out and super heavy and get toasted deep, especially with his defense. Are you thinking that, or is it just kind of like, oh, whatever, flow of the game?
Oh, I love the fact that he ran that. I was fully expecting to go give up the first down. It was more about if you actually you don't have to go back, but that play I'm trying to set up something, right? So what I'm trying to do there is to show my cover two look, because I know he likes to throw behind the cover two, right? So he did that even in the first game against me. So I gave it to him there to show I'm willing to play cover two looks. So like, just it's okay, run the ball, go ahead, get your 10 yards. I'm not stopping him. I'm not going to come out in 3-4. I don't care. Like I take your first. And also, Danny's not a runner. So his
Right.
game plan is to come in and run the ball, and I love that. I love the fact that he's doing something completely different.
That's a good point. Using their little play art against them, the fact that the offense gets the play art against you, like that's not something you would think would be a disadvantage. But yeah, coming out and this is your second cover two look. At the end of the day, he wants to be able to play cover two. It's kind of a passing quarterback's like wet dream. You see that, and then you start looking for cover two constantly. Um, just another run here.
Yeah, and again, it's the first drive, as Harambe was saying on the broadcast with you and Ty, which again, you guys did an awesome job. So thank you for that. It really, he said it's a filling out drive, right?
Right.
So the worst case scenario on it as a defense on your first drive is to just let them go, pretty much do what Danny did. Go down the field, not have to show much, just go. You know what I mean? And it really, it really was
Right.
unfortunate. Like he just moved the ball ultra easy.
So this is a play Danny really likes, and you picked him off last time for this. I don't know if you remember. This was the pick where he ran the zig. You gave him inside
Yeah.
leverage, and we were talking about this dig, and then it ended up being a double move. We were talking about it on our broadcast. I think we were just in a party, and you said that you're willing to give up the digs because people don't throw those a lot or whatever. But notice how he has this play, And honestly, I don't know if you're in two here. Everything kind of gives the vibe that you're either in man or two. Probably safety's off. But my point is I would have think that he would want to play this, but I think your pick in that last game kind of scared him out of it, or the fact that you're in a 3-man front again, and he said, "Screw it, I'll just run the ball."
So I think I was in. I think that was.
We'll find
Let's
out here
see.
in a second, right? Yeah, you're in
Okay,
two. Like you
so it
like.
was it was cover two, but I manned up the outside corners again, giving I want him to try to throw behind the soft squats, not realizing it's man coverage. So I'm
Right.
again trying to set that up like kind of way too much probably. Um,
Well, we talked
but
about you
it's
kind of had a giveaway. I didn't know if he was gonna actually throw this out. He doesn't. You have a double. What are you setting there? Let's see what coverage you're in. You're in man, but you're putting him in a flat. Is that what's going on over here? I don't know if you can see my cursor.
yeah.
But on the left side, is it, not asking you to give away all your adjustments, but that's an interesting adjustment. I guess is that just to play outs, or you just know people want those outs in those scenarios, or
Yeah, everyone again. So he takes away Bell, right? So I took my left to screen linebacker, put him in like a hard flat to cover a drag or a slant, and then I put
okay,
that strong safety in a hard flat, so it covers that Bell or a flat on that side, and all I have to do is cover the middle or somewhere deeper.
right? So let's talk a little bit. So what you're telling just from them
So
is
watch Okariki.
you're taking hard flat here,
Yeah,
and you're taking one of these guys in a hard flat, right?
no strong
Or
safety,
or strong safety to the hard
and
flat.
the free safety should be in a middle third.
So we're manned up, and
Yes.
we're manned up, and we're manned up, and you're using Leonard here,
Yep.
and you're just like, okay, I will take this. You can't win in the quick flats, so kind of let me.
Yeah, there's no reason to keep the man up on the running back there because the only route he's really going to run is like an option.
Right.
Or if you have obviously like the ability, you can put an angle, but like that's
And
fine too.
and the one thing you leave yourself available to, because if you're using here getting double routed, I guess you could say, right? You have to play. I
Hmm.
mean, you're going to release drag, so you're thinking the flat will take that, and the only other thing he could run is this or that. And then the third thing would be wheel, right? But that's you're at this point, if he's throwing a late developing wheel, you kind of accepted it. You're just like, all right, whatever. Like
Yeah.
if it takes that long, it takes that long. But that's the only thing I could think of that would kind of hurt you.
So,
Um,
but you see this look. You see two men under press. Why would you if you put that wheel? It's never going to get open. So he's never going to put that route on that
yes,
field.
yes, because we're not anticipating that you're going to release your man coverage. We're anticipating
Yes.
that you're going to keep it. Where I would, if I'm him, is because of his matchup nightmare. And so I would kind of have an advantage in the one-on-one there. And then second, I would more so want to clear out with Hop because one, if you're pressing the out, I don't know, it took forever, but there's just you press his win all year has been if you press versus Hop, he's press insurance. It's the reason these guys get open is because he is press coverage insurance, but because he does this out, he doesn't clear out this side over here for Le'Veon. Fortunately for him, he can run, but just as you kind of anticipated, you do a good job, and all he has is the under by Isabella, late releasing by Bell, but the flat, like you said, takes it up over here on the right.
It's completely covered, right?
Right, yeah,
He did the only thing he could do, which
right,
was the right play.
right. But you're kind of taking that in the bank. Now he can't really run. I think he wastes a timeout here soon because of how tired Bell is. I think I pointed
Yeah.
that out on the broadcast. Like, yeah, forcing those happen, and you're a hit stick team, so if anybody's rocking a lot of fatigue, you kind of force him to use a timeout. Let's see what
This
he's.
this is kind of my sort of run defense. I go to 3-4 cub, which I wanted to use a lot because if you spread your linebackers and your linemen, your safeties will come into the box automatically for no reason. Only in this
Interesting.
formation. So if you watch me break the huddle, you'll watch I only am shifting out and out
I
and
see.
look at their alignment.
Right,
So I could take Darius Leonard or whoever and kind of play run fits there.
right, because you have immediate help in the
Yeah.
intermediary. So what he's got lined up here is a kind of went a little far ahead.
His play there is kind of awkward. I don't know what the reads are.
We'll try to dissect here. I don't even know if he throws this. I don't. So we run the same
Yeah.
playbook. Me and Danny does. This is the Washington team playbook, but we like it's so weird to like have the same playbook as somebody, and y'all run it completely different. Okay, so late release by Isabella. I do like that route. Dig by McNeil, Crosser, and then the one-on-one. Honestly, I don't. You said you're kind of in a 3 look here, right? No, you're in 4
Yeah.
quarters. You're in 4 quarters. If I'm a
Mhm.
user playing this, you don't have anybody who can win on that or this. Maybe if this guy gets over, but you don't have anybody who wins Hob 1-on-1. But you're so off that I wouldn't throw the go. I don't hate this levels, but I don't.
I feel
Yeah,
like both those guys are running into each other. Like
these
I
guys
don't
here
know.
on the left, or you're talking about this crosser by McNeil and Ertz.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we'll just have
So
to see how it
me seeing this
unfolds.
formation, I'm like, it's gonna be like he's gonna try to seam Isabella, which he's gonna try later in the game. And other than that, there's really no threat on this play. It's a very, again, formation wise, it doesn't have very many good route combos in it.
Right, and they're all kind of predictable. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, having Ertz is a benefit there. Um, let's see here. So you drop and then crash on Y. I think this is he just checks down to Y. Yeah. Once
Yeah.
again, that's a throw you want. I mean, it's not the worst thing. It's weird when it's called levels. And yeah, this is where Kyler's like tired as shit. You're just like, yeah, it
Because
stinks.
he's just driving down the field. There's been like 10 plays or something. But yeah, that play, like I had to cover Ertz on the cross. That's my main thing. And then he made the right read there, so it was a good play.
Okay, you're back in 3-4 here, trying to condense
Cover
the field.
cover two, do it. I'm trying so hard.
Oh, this fight was
Um,
crazy. Yeah, this
yeah,
is
I just
just yeah,
got fucked.
yeah. You're fine to bank that. We're no stranger to watching. You just be like, all right, whatever. You got a good run. You're gonna have to pass at some point. Let's cut a little ahead here to your first play. Um,
Yeah, so I never come out in this formation. This was new, because it's and this play specifically, I
this
think
is
I
the
ran
toss.
against Ricky. Yeah, so you have look at Nelson. He's just gonna murder his player.
Is this a manual motion here by Rudolph?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'd never seen a play toss with a motion set, so just get another body over there. Not a lot of people do it. It's frustrating to watch people manually motion, and I think it's just because I don't do it, and it takes
yeah.
forever. But
It does.
it happens. It's part of football. You're more than welcome to put another guy on that side of the field, and you got to shift and adjust and oversell
Yeah.
because you got Quentin out there fucking causing problems.
Yeah, I wanted to establish that. Even like Kyle Rudolph, I picked up off of free agency, and like I just use him for that, and it worked out pretty well. Danny's in a bad formation right now against this.
So what coverage is he in here?
Cover 4.
Oh, he's just in the standard 3-4 drop.
I think he thought I was going to run again or
Oh, this
something,
is
and
3.
I went from single back just right from there right to shotgun, because I'm not going to come out and just give you the same look. I want, like, it's annoying to go from 3-4 to nickel or dime and to go back in between plays. So I like to do that a lot, just to like have to catch the person being lazy.
So this is so it's not the worst play. It's that like 3 buzz that blitzes this linebacker right here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what left that open. I mean, really, it's just the read. I wouldn't say it's the worst play. Obviously, it's a bad play because you're in 3-4 against, and that's
Yeah.
what you do. This is what your unique scenario is this motherfucker right here makes you want to live in 3-4 all game. And when I played you, it was 5-2. I don't know if you caught on to that. But I just 5-2 pinch fucking cover 1 all game or cover 0, dude. I was like, I'm not getting beat by this fucking dude. Actually, I laughed at Danny. I said, if nothing, I want to keep him under 2,000 on the year. You ended up getting like 6 yards past it or something like that. But I mean, that's a read. That's the one open spot. But you really are a nightmare for those matchups.
So see, I come right back to I form. Like I went
Right.
run, pass, and now here I am.
And
And now
he's
Danny's in nickel, right? This
yeah.
nickel, right?
This is a 3 3
So I,
5 odd.
I
Yeah.
got him right where I want him. That is such a. I mean, I was a bad run by me, but that is
Right.
ideal.
Right. This is what Danny does unique. Is his ability. He just plays a little different than you. He shoots gaps because you guys both live more so out of base formations. You guys play in very different ones, but you guys both live out. But I think one of the main key differences between his run defense and your defense is that you do not seem to penetrate. When you do penetrate and push hard, you're doing it with Malik Hooker, and I think you're
Yeah,
sometimes
I
you're just a
don't.
little too deep to make any
I,
impact. You kind of ran yourself into a block or something like that. So this is
sure, or I'll. Yeah, Danny's. I don't know what he's doing here, but yeah, I'll run back just to try to get my guys to make the tackle and not give up a bigger play.
gotcha. So you clear out B, easy decision. You went to this about 3 times. You're one of the
Yes.
more unique curl runners in the game. I've seen you run 2 curls right next to each other. Like, but what in your mind? What's the move?
So this is, I think, Xbot, the play Xbot, right? So Danny wants to cover the entire field with his user, right? So the plan here, if you watch the receiver on the right, he's running a baby hook. I have a baby hook, a corner, a streak, which you have on the screen. The streak will hold Danny, and that's why I had a curl under. So he has to make that decision. If for some reason both of them are covered, look at the baby curl on the right side. It's going to be wide open as well.
So your read here is your clear the user out. That's fairly obvious, especially in the too high look. He has got to send somebody back with him. If he's in 2, yeah, that's what you're talking about over here. Is if this
Yeah,
corner
zone the
drops,
read of zone. The zone
right?
read, if he's in zone, I'm running this play because I know that the curl will get open, and if it
Right.
doesn't, I mean, one of the curls will. So if you pause right
Okay.
there,
Oh, so it's
yes,
more of a this kind of curl for this
yeah,
guy.
the weird one,
Got you. So you got his user.
yeah,
Yeah, like at this point, and then the clear out by Taylor.
yep.
You almost pay the price of not keeping Taylor in, but once again, just got so many things going on. Interesting route concept. Not something I run a lot of. Curls, middle of the field curls and clear outs. That's just
You ran that
position.
against me, I think, in like 2 Maddens ago. It was like at a like single back. It was like Cooper Cup or something. It was like single back trips, and that right receiver ran that same curl, and you threw it, and I was like, wow, no one else has ever done that.
I
Like
remember. I remember.
it's
Yeah,
it's open, but like no one throws it.
because they want the corner.
Mm-hmm.
They want the corner
Again,
so bad.
this Madden is just like take your 3 yards and just and turn up field, and you'll get more.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one, what's interesting is just talk about tight end play in general. Something that you were notorious for with Evan Ingram was the delayed. This was a great play, by the way. Dude, that's there's nothing you can do about it. Like, there's nothing you can do about the stutter. It's so frustrating. But you've had delay release routes that you were doing with Evan Ingram that were causing fits, and then Kelsey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, looks like the game plan is different, but you're still using your tight end in unique ways. Like, nobody's running curls with their tight ends. Like,
Yeah, it's because it's kind of I don't know, because I don't know if it's my Alberto is just not, he's not a route runner, right?
right,
So he doesn't really get open even though he's fast. So like I have to try to get him the ball in space and see what he can do.
right. Use a speed after the
Um,
catch, not before
I,
it, kind of
I
deal.
go from under center to shotgun here because this inside zone is gonna be harder for him to blow up than if you can run commit under like goal line or something. Like goal line versus goal line is not a good matchup, so I just need to spread them out.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking down at my phone because it was goal line play. So your whole point was just getting, yeah. That's, what we talk about on the stream. That it's actually more beneficial to be like in shotgun inside zone on these plays. You're right.
Yep, and I just run around his user hit stick, and that's it. Like that's the only guy he got in the backfield. That's awesome, but
Swerve it.
yeah, just run around him.
I do like goal line toss. I still default to that, but most of the
Scary. It's
smart,
a scary play.
most of the smart. I mean, Cohen swerve is just it's just a lot of speed to deal with. So the second drive, it's still 7-7. I remember the key thing about this drive is and it's something I think Danny made an error. So I'm sure we can get to that. We'll talk, but or not the blitz, the sack. You had a
See,
really big
he
sack.
came out in a great play in that halfback angle play, and then he audible to a run because the correct look was to audible to a run. So
Right.
again, he's running the ball a ton.
A there, like this was a great read.
Yeah.
Obviously.
He called me on my DT, so I had to use a rush, so I rushed 3 so I don't get suspended.
Well, no, because you changed the one coming, yeah. We're always hawking. Uh, um, safety in the box.
This is another pass, like a run, I mean a pass front. Like he should be running the ball. This is the correct move every time.
Right.
But again, Danny does not want to do this.
Right.
Like he is such a good passer, and he's sitting here running inside zone with Levy and Bell when he's got all these weapons. And I'm like, this is fine because I will hit him in the backfield at some point, and then he's going to be in a long situation. So,
Um, I think this is the sack that we were talking about. So let's go back here. So he goes once again. We talked about it before when he went to the out, but he sees press, and in his mind, he wants to go at hot. And you're in like bail coverage.
cover 4 palms. So cover 4 palms out of 2-4-5. I'll pinch the D line to get interior pressure, and I'll contain the outside rushers. So if you see Danny, he says, "Oh, look, they're spread. I can take that lane, but the interior pressure is going to get to him."
Right. He's going just standard. One of the things we were concerned about was why didn't he do any of this? Because, Leonard by himself, matchup nightmare. But what ends up happening is he ends up just kind of keeping him on that little curl. And then I think if you're ever going to call cover 4, you have got to make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is the obvious matchup you would want to go to. Curl, come back, whatever. Maybe a drag or a slant underneath to take Leonard.
Dude, a slant kills his coverage. A slant's
Right.
wide open on this.
Right. Like, I don't really understand why he didn't adjust it. You see Le'Veon just kind of sit, even though that is open. He doesn't have Isabella open. Yeah, there's nothing, and yeah,
It's one of those coverages that like I'll run 3 or 4 times a game because it's just like you don't expect it, and then it's just like you kind of lose it down because you're like it's not going to work what you have.
Right.
Yeah,
You're just not ready to beat 4 palm. For me, beating 4 palm is risky because I want to beat you. Well, you're playing hooker, but normally in these match coverages, one of these safeties will come up if you can kit over the top of them. A guy that runs a lot of this is Troy, and I don't know if you remember, I heavily struggled in the first half versus Troy, and my loss to him. One of the reasons is because of how much cover 4, but Minka kept coming up in whatever coverage, whatever slant or whatever. Mika kept 7-up, so I just hit him over the top with the John Brown post. But again, you're using that, so that's kind of out of the question here. And once again, he should have just ran. First down, 1st and 10. But with how much he's been running, he has to be careful because once again, that hit stick's gonna come. But trying to go deep on 1st down and kind of getting yourself in a bad scenario, I feel like he's got to do that on 2nd and short, not so much 1st and whatever. Here he tries to run to get his yards back.
See, again, it's I'm giving him the run look.
Right.
I'm like, please run the ball, and it worked out.
Right.
So now 3rd and 17 instead of 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8.
So this is the mesh halfback wheel. I thought he was going to go after. I can't remember exactly what he did. Probably. Okay. This one he got his yards back. And either way, now, just for the casual user, I'm going to McNeil on this because you have the lead blocker. And that's just, that's not your tidbit, right? But that's just, people watch it develop. Like, there's X right there. I don't think this is bad. He's, got the yards he needed. But just for the sake of pointing it out, it's always easier to throw the one left or right, and then the running back will lead block for you, and you can just swerve one guy. It's just one-on-one. You got to beat one man. Skip to your next drive.
Same thing I started my first drive in. This is my 2nd possession, and it's the start of the 2nd quarter. He's literally getting 100 plays.
Right. How do you feel about that? Like, it's the worst for me. When I'm playing a ton of defense, I'm losing games.
The field goal was awesome because that's a win for me.
Right.
So like I feel like okay, I'll just score. I honestly, I feel like with Jonathan Taylor and the team, it's like I feel like I should be able to score every time. Like unless I just do something absolutely stupid. Like when I played Donnie last year, I did. I was up 14-0 and I was like, "Oh, let me just start bombing him." You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like I just this game I was just like, "Let me just play ultra patient, just play really safe and I'll be fine." And this that play right there, while it's a screen, it's I have that and another play called like a man beater. So if it's zone, I'll run the screen. If it's man, I'll run the man beater play,
Got you.
which is like I have like T.Y. Hilton on like a deep in or something like that.
Hmm. It's tough to deal with. You got about another year of that, by the way, and then you're gonna have to figure something else. Ronald Prenton is
He's
gone. He's just unfortunate by them. He made the right read, but
he
you're
has to. He's not covering him. You know what I mean? I
right.
looked at the stats after the game and I'm like, dude, he had like 5 catches and everyone else had like 2 or 3, and it's a lot, but if it's the biggest game, I'm gonna give him the ball like that. If
Right.
you don't cover that, I'm taking that every time.
Right. I think it's not so much because I looked. It ended up being like 58% of the offense. So you're good. We don't determine who gets the touches first. But I think on your first 14 touches, he had 10 of them. It was something like that. It was even wilder, I think. But once again, if it's open, it's a Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Uh,
I feel like that's kind of
right.
it's not like
It's
you're
not.
kind of like I don't know. It's hard to this is a new play I actually started running. It's like a auto motion, but it's 0-1 trap. And 0-1 trap with Quentin Nelson is one of the best plays in the game.
Right. You know. Yeah. Filthy.
It's hard to
AJ.
blow up. Look at that. How
Right.
do you blow that up?
Right.
He wants to be hit me in the backfield. If I run 0-1 trap, he can't.
Right, and also that brings to mind that play that where wham, the giveaway of you see the tight end go and then they crash and then the ball snapped and then you go on halfback wham. That's too much of a giveaway that play's coming, so people will shoot the gap. You found a play that creates the same effect, but it's not as obvious, so he can't shoot the appropriate gap. He gets caught up on the right guard. Do you want to talk a little bit about the kind of shakiness? Is it just kind of a nervous, not nervous tick, but just a tick, like the running left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, or is it just it kind of keeps it a quick reaction on the swerve, like
It's just in case like there's an opening. It's not because like it doesn't do anything to the AI. It doesn't do anything for the run. Like I'm still gonna get the same amount of yards, but I just wind up doing it sometimes. I don't really know why. I feel like it
right,
just keeps me like loose on the run, if that makes sense.
right.
This was a bad read by me. Could have been a fumble.
Yeah,
I kind of threw it way too quick. I had A open. I thought it was man coverage.
yeah. You know that's a tough throw to deal with though. Like I'm not too mad at you. Yes, this pops open, but there's there's worse reads you could have made. But you definitely don't want that happening. He got quite a few licks on you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were both coming from behind.
So I have 3 or 4 audibles out of this one formation based on the look, and I think this one it's X spot again. No, that's still the same play from the first one. Then that's flood. So I'm reading the flat to the Hilton out, but he's using it, so I'm just reading the left side of the field.
Right. Just go back.
So
Just check down.
one of the biggest things, and remember when Madden came out, the whole thing with the user, this and that, like just don't throw at him. Like I'm just not going to throw at Danny's player. So if he's going to be on the right side of the field, I'm going to throw on the left side. It's just like that's it. I'm reading Alberto, and then my next read is Hilton. He's got it completely covered.
Right.
So I'm not even after I see him. As soon as I snap it, he's on Simmons. I'm like, okay, I'll just read the left
Right.
side.
Just do something else with your time. There's no need
Yeah,
to.
it's if someone's like, oh, the user's unrealistic, this or that, like right there, Danny covered a flat and a deep out in 2 seconds, right?
Right.
But at the same time, like I just didn't throw at him. Like it's that simple. Like if your route combos you have to give yourself options and give yourself bailout routes and things like that. You can't just like have 4 slants running across the field and just throw it, in the middle.
This was just. This was. I don't know what coverage he's in here. Probably 3. Yeah, he's just in 3, and he gets caught with the hard flat. This is a good read.
His user too. He tried to blow up the run because I'm in 3 tight ends, so I wanted to give a pass look out of that.
Right. Just constantly make him worried about every little thing.
That's it, because I haven't passed out of that formation yet. So I was like, let me do that, and he bit down, and the corner was open. And this was one of the luckiest plays I'll ever have in my life.
Oh, this one was wild.
This was a Jonathan Taylor special.
He should have had the tackle on the first one that didn't even register, right?
Yeah,
Right
when I got the ball, I was
like,
like, oh, I'm screwed. And then I was like, it's gonna be one of those games.
like, you can't be mad at it. Just sneaks underneath this dude's arm. He kind
Again,
of
so
got one on the bell play, but
yeah, one of the things I try to do, and a lot of people, and I like people like only like to run stretches or certain formations. I've already ran like a stretch, a toss, or one trap, a dive, a counter. Same thing when you play Troy. Is like you can't prepare for one run. So like I want he can't blow up every run in the backfield if he doesn't know what type of run is coming.
good point. Yeah, very good point. And
So
he does
I
get a
purposely,
couple,
I
but
purposely,
even then, you like
yeah,
the 1 or 2 times he gets you, it's not that big though.
I purposely kick off short in different directions just to get a chance for a hit stick. Like
Right.
I don't kick it deep ever. Like I want to get a lucky play. So if I get like 5 chances at that, like let me do it. So this right here, right?
Back
Can
to
you pause
that.
it?
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Let me bring the play art back up.
Yep.
It's a finicky game here, but he's back in that levels play. I wonder if he checks out of it.
He might. Okay. So he might, but again, watching him against Kyle, this is he wants to hit a seam. Like he wants to hit Isabella like behind the guy.
It's a
Yeah,
two
so
beater.
it's
It's a two beater. Yeah.
yes, and he scored against, I think it was Kyle on that. So like
Yes.
I don't know if I changed my coverage to cover 2 look for that, but I saw this and I recognized, and I was like, okay, I think that's what we're gonna try to do.
Yeah. If you get this against cover 2, they just don't. They get caught up in here. They don't guard it, and this safety does not get over it. And it is just like you don't bomb it. You don't bomb it. You throw it about right here, and you lead it a left away from the
Yes.
safety, and it is fucking cherry. It is very, very hard to defend out of cover 2 because you kind of have
But
to
I'm showing man press here, so I think I'm in man, unless I do something else.
kind of see what because he might check out of it. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. So he's gonna go to he checks into the alert screen. Yeah, so you see he sees it too, and he's like, all right, I'm not gonna throw it. Sorry,
Yeah,
Danny,
and
for giving away all your stuff.
the screen's not open. That was the right play by him, because there's no, again, that formation doesn't have any man beating plays outside of like slants.
Here's Salem.
So no, don't pause it. I'm sorry. Same one as last time. Good play by him.
He really
But
likes
that
it.
formation, okay, that will come back.
Right.
I rushed 4, right? He threw that right there to the slot guy.
He like wasn't using like at all because he said
Yeah,
he
I
didn't
don't.
want to. And then when the one play he did use it is when he hit hop down the left sideline for like
Yeah.
a shit ton of yards. He just saw a man, and Tyler goes Ty goes burn it with fire, like the whole ability. Because we're like sitting, so I was like, yeah, and he was like, well, what happens? I was like, look what happens when he hits right trigger, and it just showed man coverage, and Ty was like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So again, I invite him to run the ball, and he makes a good play. That's fine. I'm okay with it.
Right.
And while I do give up a lot of running the ball wise, like it's like I don't, and my games, I usually get like time of possession. I have a lot less than my opponent because of things like this. But they'll run these long drives against me, and that's why I don't get all these crazy stats like a lot of people. Is because like I don't get the opportunity. So it's again, but I'm inviting it. I'm not trying to just give up a big play. I'm not trying to let Danny work for it. Let him make the right decision every time.
Mm-hmm. Just another run. I mean, I love this. When I'm watching, I'm thinking Danny not freaking out and just continuing to run.
I love it too. Because he's not throwing to Hopkins or Isabella or Zach Ertz or anything. Like I'm content. It's not like when we had played, and you're in like two tight ends, and like you run and no one touches your guy. Like if we're giving 4 yards, like okay, it's a win.
Right. But
Yeah,
this
here we
is
go.
yeah. Like, I mean, I don't blame him. You got it, you use it. But he had to double check here after you man aligned or base aligned or whatever, and he's like, "All right, interesting. It doesn't show linebackers. Okay, so just like I was wondering if it showed linebackers. Just the coverage boys. He knew something was afoot, and yeah. And that's when we talk about his press insurance. Even without that, that's what he's looking for anytime somebody's in press, and that should be. If you have a stud receiver like that, fucking
Yeah, that's where he wins.
like just go fucking throw it, and don't call it out. Because if they win on press and then they're trailing late, and then you throw it out where they're breaking down, the click on game is the easiest pick in the book. Do you hold him here, or do you let him go to 17-14?
I don't know, but I do something really good right there. Even though I missed a tackle, I click on and I beat him to the sideline, which was because I knew he was going to try to get outside. So like my idea was like that was a potential touchdown. So it might not look like anything, but like once I go on to OB, you'll see like I immediately run to the sideline.
It's awesome.
Like right there. I'm like
right.
I try to.
Right, you just beeline. One of the things.
And now look, he has to cut it all to this right. He has to. He's look at the direction he's running. His player is going towards the sideline.
Right.
Like, and he has to get to the end zone. So like,
right.
That was it was a good play by him.
You get a lot of hit sticks that people don't get because of how quickly you get to the sideline. People track the player.
You beat him. You beat him to the spot.
You track the sideline, and you end up getting a lot more hit sticks. And cause a lot of problems that way. People that are like running and they think that they're safe, and then all of a sudden you get like this like diving hit stick on them. I think Allen's one of the.
Yeah, because you're running to a spot. You're giving up a couple extra yards, but you're getting a chance at a fumble.
This is what I don't like is late developing runs, like late.
Just run a dive.
Like like late developing handoffs. I think this is the.
I rank him it too.
Yeah, he's got to be more patient on this read because this is the one. Yeah, so this is weak close. This one's the power one, not the stretch one. But yeah, he's just got to throw that big. He's got to be more confident in that read. But then again, I don't know if you would have been so quick in that if he would have been able to get it off.
I don't know. I'm fully sending the whole team
at this point.
Is this dude? So this play is cover 2, and I think I run commit again. No, I just take my user and run the wrong way. So like his 2 guys are open, A and B are wide open.
Right. Back of the.
I'm in cover 2 here.
I don't like this play. Like you have all of these hot routes for Ertz. You gotta pick one that you know is gonna happen, kind of deal.
All for naught because he scores. See, I moved the safety down, but I didn't move him far outside enough, and that was my fault.
If that's the play that beats you, then
yeah,
there's better ways, you know.
It worked out. It was a good call, and he's in a good spot. But I mean, at least I have a little bit of time, and I get ball at half. So if I can at least get a field goal, I'm pretty happy. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't get any opportunities to return the ball. Danny's kicking deep every time. I'm kicking it short every time. Like no one's right or wrong, but it's just 2 different ways of going about it.
You have a deadlier weapon, I'd say, than most back there, and you've already beat him on special teams before with the
that punt return, yeah,
the punt return. So I can understand a little bit why he would.
That was one of the best punt returns until Ricky just like.
Oh, thanks.
I'm sorry, but like,
it was not fun, dog. This one was absolute filth.
I have a pass play called. I'm trying to hit a play action play, but he just gives me the best run look I could ask for.
Let's run this back.
So in the plays I have here, it's an 0-1 trap. No, power. It's power. A play action play. A receiver end around, not end around. Jet sweep, and then inside zone. So it's depending. I want to play action bomb him, but
To
he's got two deep.
Campbell or to
Campbell on a post.
okay. Danny makes the mistake. You're in two wide receivers, and he's
Yep.
in dollar. This is the
I don't want to
first
pass it. I mean, I don't want to run it. I want to pass this ball, but he's giving me the
in the
and
zone first
and my
down
dude's
run.
juiced up right now. Yeah,
Like
he's got the ability.
this is not a good look, really at all, especially after taking the lead. Now I get the end of the half game, but whew, it's a tough play call. But all of his momentum kind of shot out the window there.
He's not played dollar all game,
Right.
and he doesn't. I don't think really normally play dollar, and it was just an interesting thing. Obviously best case scenario. I mean, he still has time, so this is I when I scored, I was like, all right, that's great, but now we have to hold him to 3.
And he got ball first, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And to make a free agent bid. I accidentally almost advanced tonight.
I have like 3 million in cap, so see what happens.
All right. So I don't ever call this. This is the level. No, this isn't even the levels formation, but this is
Dagger.
this is a formation that he calls that I do not call at all. He's gonna go dagger here, quick flat.
I don't know why he snapped through that. That was weird.
So you're in your just that 2 look.
I don't know what I'm in. I think I might be. I think I'm in cover 3. To be honest, I think I do a lot of weird things to get in this formation. Like I'll, yeah, it's a 3.
Ooh, he had it. He probably has
Everything.
there. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot open. He's got you isolated. That's the matchup I'd want right here.
Yep.
And then he's got this to keep you occupied if that's not open. That's the read. There is
I want to see
no
what's my slot corner doing. I don't know if I have him manned up on something. Let's see.
this guy right here
No,
or
the left dude.
this
Yeah.
guy over here. Okay, yeah, we'll peek for that. He's going clear out there anyways.
Yeah, he's
it looks
manned.
like he's manned. So yeah, like that's the
Mhm.
read. He's got you completely twisted, and he goes quick flat. And that's not what you want at this point of the game. Not with 1:10 left. Short a timeout. We're hitting that point, by the way. I think we're gonna have to switch over to the other because I'm an idiot. But it shouldn't take
That's
a
fine.
couple seconds here. This is your standard 3. He's quick snapping you, but he's going right back to Bell. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm happy he got out of bounds. I tried to take more and beat him to the sideline, and he cut it upfield, so he got a lot of extra yards with that. It was good.
Let me open up the other.
Wait, so only one team is bidding on Chandler Jones?
It's super high. I was bidding on him with Derek, and I had to back out, and it's a very, very high bid. So
Man, I hate when people see my bids and then they bid on it. Like for these players, like Justin Houston. Like, does NB really need Justin Houston? Like, stop. He gave him like a lot of money too. It looks like I'm trying to be cheap.
I was actually bidding on him. I dropped my bid and let him do that. Here, gameplay stream. Let me fix this, and we're almost ready. I just have to share my screen back with you. All right, cool. We are back live. Everything going on now. We're back to that throw down the bell. is the 1st and 10. Oh, this was almost crazy. This is the angle route. I don't like tight formations against you either.
Yeah, it's because I mean, what are you throwing besides a drag or a corner? I mean, I guess an angle route, but
Right.
it's really not that. You can't throw a curl; it's too risky. If you try to throw a seam, it's risky as well. So I went to man there.
Keeping in mind, this
Um,
entire time he has Omaha. He needs to be using it. This is a very crucial time. And this
so
is
this is the play right here.
right.
Pause it.
Uh, 1 second. There you go. So now we have
Yeah. So
exactly
he
what you're
so
doing.
yeah. So he sees my coverage. The thing he does not see is, again. So when I told you I did watch his playoff games, even when he was playing them, and I know he likes to throw it quick, right? So right now he's probably, in my opinion, I'm like, he's thinking Bell on the flat, right? Um, or maybe Hopkins on a slant or something. So what I do is I put my left defensive end in a hard flat. I put my Okariki in a purple.
Is that this one or this
Agree.
one?
No, they're doing the left. Yeah. Right. So
Maple.
I'm actually blitzing the Darius Leonard, and I'm blitzing Obi. So it doesn't look like a blitz, right? It's not a normal blitz. So when it's snapped, it just kind of, I don't know what happens, but um, I'm only rushing what, one, two, three, four, five. So five guys,
Yeah.
but just from one side of the field. So this was my adjustment that I had made that I figured I can get him on, because I'm taking away the quick flat and I'm using something short because he wants to throw quick.
So if I'm him,
Wide open.
that's wide open, and he checks
Mm-hmm.
exactly to what you say, which is he checks to underneath. Another thing he needs to pick up on, I don't know when color switched to cyan here, is this right here. He knows his ability tells him everything any defensive back is doing on your team, but you notice there's no assignment coming from Obi.
Yeah.
That's because
Yeah, it's true.
that is a tell that he's blitzing.
Dude, he could motion over McNeil and throw him on a baby out, right? And I would have to change my play.
Yeah, just forcing you to change a play. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't, because this is favorable to me. Like, I get that you're doing
Yeah.
this, but
No, of
as
course.
soon as I see this, even if I don't have this, I'm going out here and then drag underneath. And then once
Yeah.
this
It's
clears
easy to
out, I'm
hindsight.
hitting a yeah, right,
It's like,
always
oh, you
easy,
should do this or that. But yeah, no,
100%.
I was very, very happy with how this play played out,
The
just based
only
on the adjustments.
Yeah. He has got to pick up that Obi's coming with the ability. So exactly what you said. He motions a drag by hop. Everything. I mean, the only thing he can do is hit right here.
Yeah.
You're covering this. I guess he has a little bit of a window to A, but for the most part, he's crowded himself in the middle of the field. And this is the sack fumble by Mr. Obi Melifonwu that you mentioned before we started the stream. So we're gonna I think he ends up. I really feel like he just let this run out, didn't he? Can you try a run? Try not to get himself in
Yeah,
any trouble.
that's half. Yeah.
That's the worst animation. They actually spent time to put that into the game. All right, let's see here. I mean, I'm not gonna break that down. It's in the half thing. So we just for the user watching here, we only got about 12 minutes of actual game film left. We actually don't go after it kind of gets a little blown out of proportion. He's back in 3-4. This is a good play, doing kind of what Danny does, which is just shooting gaps. He's about as good at shooting as a gap as you are with a swerve insert. It's weird. He's like reverse swerving everybody, you know?
Yeah, it's
With
I don't
throwing
know
it.
how he gets into the backfield every single play.
And he does it
I don't like it. I don't know
differently.
if he's crashing his line or what he's doing, but like every single freaking play.
He
This
he
one, I think this too.
well,
Like
you
this is a one
see
trap.
one thing, and I'm just gonna, once again, Madden, not so much for you, but for whoever's watching. Hitting the both triggers and hitting X will give you your run fits, which is exactly what Danny was just looking at. Fuck me. Whatever. I'm not gonna catch it. But Are you familiar with this? I'm pretty sure you are.
Yeah, I don't obviously.
Yeah, it was shown. It was shown. Oh yeah, sorry.
My,
Are you familiar with run fits? Warren has no idea what a run fit is. But I mean, for the most part, he's coming out and kind of forcing you to third down. The downside of third and short versus you is you have to worry about Taylor on these underneath and these curls. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're going back to the curl here shortly.
yeah, I think I run a different play than I did the first time. Um, I'm not really sure what this is, but look where he is. I'm not like if you're gonna use her a slot corner or you're gonna use her that, like you're just taking yourself out of the play. Like that's like it's cute when things like that. Like I'm not gonna throw a seam. I'm not gonna if like when you play people like Willie who's on the outside corner, like yeah, it could make a big play potentially, but it leaves everything open. That's why the user obviously is super important. So if Danny just controlled the middle here, he's got me.
Right. Well, because
There's nobody.
he's so concerned about everything. Yeah. There's. I know it's super blurry on everybody's screen, but
I throw for a lot of yards. I really don't. It was just like my passes. I was like, let me just be safe. I just, Aaron Rodgers with gunslinger can get the ball there pretty quick.
yeah, you had mentioned how big of a difference that was.
I had no bad passes. This was my worst play of the game. I should have been picked here.
Yeah, this is the throw out, and I remember screaming. I was like, "Oh, game-changing play there." What do you have?
I think I thought he was a man coverage for some reason because I have like two drags. The corner I'm not throwing. I also, to be perfectly honest with you, at this point, I feel like I ran the ball too much and I wanted to pass the ball just so my passing stats were like,
A
you know
little,
what I mean?
yeah, you
Which is
felt
like kind of an awful thing to think about mid game, but like I consciously was like, hey, I ran the ball a ton. I need to get more passes to other players. Like that was kind of what's happening, and I almost threw a pick because of it.
it is
Like
a
I don't want it to
right,
be where like I don't want it to be where like I ran the ball 30 times and passed 5 times. You know what I mean? So like I
right,
consciously I'm like, okay, someone has to get a catch, and I almost throw a pick.
right. Yeah, at this point in the game, you're up 8 or 9, and it is a weird, finicky thing in terms of rule set, because it's like, how do you govern it? Right now we govern it by end of game, but like somebody could theoretically go in and just spam passing or spam running, and then after the game is settled, then catch up. And you're not really doing that. You're in an 11-point game. You're not really in a spot where you've like spammed running to get the lead, and then when it's done, you're like, okay, I'll catch up in passing. Like, nah, that's not something we want to see. And if somebody was doing that, we'd have to check it. But I think
No,
this is
I
fair.
agree.
Yeah, it is weird because this is like an all stakes win thing. This is when I was asking Danny, what the fuck was he doing?
It's a good question. One of the things too I do on the goal line is I'll never run the same goal line for me like coverage twice because of that. Like I mix it up, right?
Right.
Um, so I'll run cover 2, cover 1, cover 4, and it's will sometimes work against me. So you'll play some people that play red zone only play cover 2. That's
Right.
it. But I consciously mix up formations, mix up plays just because that's kind of the rule set that we're playing with, and regardless of whether it's week 1 or the Super Bowl, I want to abide by that and really just kind of be consistent.
Yeah. And then at the same time, not doing something that would intentionally hurt you.
Yeah.
Trying to balance like following the rules, but at the same time, if your opponent is like you're playing Willie and he's just throwing bombs.
Well, you consciously, I mean, most people consciously know what's happening, right?
Right.
When you play people or you look at stats and like Stephon Diggs has like 18 catches for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns, and the person's like, oh, well, I guess I'm getting suspended. Like at some point during the game, don't they realize what's happening?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. Like, I know what's kind of like, and it's just, I guess, just where they're just like, I don't really give a shit.
Right. This was
It's a great play
Yeah.
by him.
Want to get him out of the zone. Would have been
Sure
crazy
did.
if there was a fumble, but it's like finally I can breathe a little bit, Yeah, we understand, and I think one of the big things that helps with that is that there's not money on the line, so it's not the word. Like if money was on the line in this kind of league, holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he's containing against you.
He did a bunch of times.
You're not really a mobile threat. He got real lucky. I remember Ty going, ooh. Yeah, I can't say I'm a big fan of the contain against Aaron of all people.
I'm not running. I smoke screened him just because if it's zone, my plan is just to check it down. I wasn't even looking deep.
Okay, third down. You just run. I feel like, yeah, this is crossers. Oh, this was
Yeah,
the unfortunate Buda Baker.
free play.
Yeah. Yeah, crossers right there. Like, that's not even that big a deal, but it was. And it's the same dude who caught it. So, like, even worse is like, they say if you foul him, don't let him score.
Yeah.
Like, make him get it at the free throw line kind of deal. At this point, you're really living free. You know what's gonna happen. Everybody in the whole league knows what's about to happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna get hit in the backfield, or I'm gonna get a touchdown. And there's a hit in the backfield for a touchdown. Oh no, I wasn't.
He comes screaming in. It is very tough to deal with this.
I think the next play I tried to ID him or something because I was like, this is getting ridiculous.
Do you think that's placebo?
I don't know. Let's see if he comes in because he's in the same formation. I think. I also I think I took longer on this play just so he can't yeah, you blocked him. There you go.
So he can't.
If people time your snap counts like that on the run, if you just sit there and don't press anything, they're gonna eventually kind of
maybe
take a deep breath.
Yeah, back up, not get as into the gap. Yeah, that's a good point, especially on how quick of a play it is. See here.
I didn't even get to do the cover 2 thing. I think I got him maybe on this drive, but I think that was.
This is tough.
I didn't
One of the things you said you're willing to give up is a deep drive, but even then, that's tough to deal with.
Yeah, this is almost not open.
Right. 3 matches.
I have my zone drop, so it's. I don't even know why I match. I thought it's not supposed to. I don't know.
Again, something I don't do and definitely wouldn't do against you is tight.
Again, 2-man under, double hard flats. And he throws right into it.
Right. Hard flatting this.
See, again,
or hard flatting linebackers on the outside?
Both linebackers.
Okay.
So the thing is, what's crazy is again, I told you he wants to throw quick passes and use his guy's speed and turn upfield. So I'm just not gonna have that happen.
It's just so much easier to not deal with this and run. Guys, that's unfortunate. I mean,
that's not unfortunate. I ran around his whole line.
Did you, Michael? It just sucks that I not that you didn't make a heads up play. It just sucks that it just sucks.
Hey, these guys are too slow. Okariki's a beast. He's fast.
Got the juice. I do like this play, but
I'm user rushing like a weirdo. Almost got him.
This is a big run.
Great play. Yeah.
If he used your technique of stop and go with Kyler, damn near unstoppable. With you running, not to speak ill of Danny's stick skills, Danny's got it, but with you running, you stay in. I feel like you would stay in and just toast everybody because you got that lead blocker at the field. You just got to beat one dude. Down however many in the Super Bowl, yeah, give her a shot.
Yeah, I'm going for it all.
Going for it.
Worst case scenario, I'm gonna just try to clip, get a nice play on somebody.
Danny hit you on this exact play in week 14. He hit McNeil, and it was because you had brought a shit ton of pressure.
So when we played week 14, I was up a lot, and then he just got these long plays. So I was like, you know what? He's gonna have to work for everything. Right. He's not gonna get one play touchdowns. He's not gonna just throw against a cover 2 hard flat or a quick seam. I'm just not letting that happen.
Right.
Even all game. I mean, my plan was just to cover his quick first read and then just make sure I'm not giving up anything over the top.
And he's really out of his comfort
zone. Here it is. This is it. So I'm in cover 2 now.
Yes.
I'm in cover 2.
He really wants this. What are you doing?
I think my strong safety is in a middle third. I think I man up the right receiver. I'm pretty sure. I'm giving a cover 2 look. And my plan is to take my slot corner and just book it and beat him to the ball.
Okay, so you're using here.
Yeah.
And you're gonna beat him.
because that's what he wants.
Right.
I think.
This
Yeah.
is it's like a go, a screen, and then he's gonna go, and he wants to
I saw
throw
him do
the.
it against Kyle, and the dude got open. His safety, Kyle's safety just stood there. It was like
Yes, it like
awful.
fucks up cover two. Like it's literally useless against everything else. Cover two, it absolutely destroys. So let's see. Actually, nope, this isn't the one. He actually doesn't play it. This isn't the one I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Fake screen go. This is the one that's actually it's like a super late out. Does he even?
Hmm.
Yeah, this isn't the one that he throws against Kyle. But he did throw it to Isabella. He just got slapped. Let's see. I mean, I don't know if he's going to throw it on his play art. But yes, I know exactly which one you're talking about. It is in that formation. It's just he hasn't called it yet. He's four verts. Whenever I got people in four verts, it's over. Here comes another blitz.
So once again, pre-snap, right? Left the screen defensive end in a hard flat, and look at Danny's adjustment. So he's reading that flat first. He's looking at the left side of the field, and the pressure is coming from the right. So he's not gonna. His eyes are not looking.
Right. And are you mapled again, like you
I
were
don't
before?
remember. I think so, but my maple kind of wasn't working because my zone drops are too far there.
Okay.
So I probably should just leave him in a hook.
Let's see if you blitz him, and let's see if you blitz Leonard again, because that's what you did the last time. And this is the play. I mean, this is the same exact play that you got the sack fumble on earlier.
Yeah.
Come here. You don't blitz Leonard this time, but the corner blitz comes fucking screaming. He doesn't have that. I mean, that kills it, right? He goes.
Yeah.
If he
There's
runs
no.
out. But
He's got 5 guys out on routes.
this
So
is
this leaves
yeah.
it.
It's also the second time he's run cover four, or sorry, not cover four, but four verts with like no like actual hot routes. Maybe the wide this one, but you accounted, and then this he comes screaming in. Obi had a great game. That's like 14 points for Obi Melifon. Like
Who got the starting job during the playoffs only.
you're just gonna stash all these guys that you're just waiting for playoffs to hit, and then it's time to start them, like Obi and Aaron. Just wait.
No, you know when you play with guys in your team, and I'm sure we all feel like this, where like certain guys just never do anything. And like my slot corner, like I'm just like, dude, this guy does nothing. So I was like, let me just put this big guy in there and see what happens. And he just had a good run.
Yeah, Kenny
So
Moore. I don't think I remember one Kenny Moore play. So like
no, I don't think he ever got one during the season.
so.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's
Right.
it's I have not punted once. I played almost perfect outside of a couple plays, and I know to beat Danny since he is so good. I had to. He easily could have got a bunch of fumbles, which would turn the game around. I just played ultra conservative and ultra safe, and I mean he's man, he's tough. He really is. It's weird because he doesn't have like a unique play style. He just kind of knows, like he just makes the good read or the right read most of the time, and he's tough. I mean that's why he wins majority of his games. That's why he's just can blow people out. He can just he knows what he's doing. So it's much props to him. I just like honestly played near perfect, and with Jonathan Taylor, it's tough.
Right. I don't think he made too many bad reads in terms of when he actually let the ball fly. The Okiri pick six just now that we saw was more of a product of getting hit. I can't remember exactly how brutal the read was, but I mean obviously we're in the Super Bowl and he's down a shit ton, so it's not the worst thing, but I mean he ran well, but second half got away from it. That end of half, I mean seriously, you 14 points straight up from the Saquon run to the fumble six.
Saquon.
Sorry. I'm so used to you telling me like what the Taylor run. It's just the 14 points to win the Super Bowl is a fucking heartbreaker. And what the problem is that that's normally what Danny does to you. Danny normally ends up with the 14-point swing before half. Danny's the one that catches you doing something stupid. So it's a tough hill to climb out of against either any of you two, against Ricky. You get down early or you spot some like myself spotted a fucking punt return and then a pick six and then a fumble six before half against Ricky. And next thing you know,
that play right there, just real quick, is I clicked on and I did not press jump to not get a flag. That's how conservative I was playing. Like
so y'all both ran this play today.
Yeah, it's an awesome play.
Boom, and you checked down the bell,
mm-hmm.
and I think you may have caught it and thrown a Somebody's
Yeah, my
already
first
thrown it
drive.
in. Right, yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, obviously this is common, but like obviously it's a very different scenario. He's going balls to the wall, but like the game in flood, like you know this. When you call flood, you're never throwing a deep ball
No,
unless they like run commit.
you're
But
reading
like
A to
this got to go
RB.
RB, right? And then you have a lead blocker. Like it, and this isn't so much to shit on Danny as much as for those watching, like just to know throughout the game. You made a read and you were like, hey, my read is the user over there. If the user isn't over there, then I just have to make a basic route read. If the user is over there, then I'll just fucking throw to Taylor and deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a lot of it, I mean, is hindsight that you look at things and we know the outcome, so it's different. The scenario, it's everything's just when you're in it too. It's I mean, I've thrown almost like a bunch of picks this year. We all don't play perfect, and it's I think a lot of it is, and Danny plays the same way, where he's forcing you to make a decision. So when he's covering someone, that's why like the tight end curls or like a little curl or this or that. Like I'm just throwing that because if that's what you're leaving open, that's what I'm throwing. So like he gave me that option. I'm not testing him. I'm not throwing at Isaiah Simmons. Like there's no reason for that. So like I'm giving that. So on that last play, I took away the flat. I could have took away the like the intermediate route, but I said let me just try to jump a flat and maybe I'll get lucky. He'll throw it. So like I'm and that's what good people do, and you as well, and a bunch of other guys is really try to dictate to what your opponent is going to do. Hey, look again, first half, run the ball. I'm in dollar. Run the ball. I'm in 3-3-5. Right. So it's that type of thing where you want to dictate what your opponent's doing, and you don't want them to dictate to you what you have to do.
And keeping it, especially against guys like you and Danny from just a standard user, is just keeping it interesting in terms of how you attack them, because you're ahead of everybody in the league in terms of what you're doing on pass defense. Trying to get a play where you're on offense. That's exactly what I'm looking at. But like something that I do against you, which is you said like you make reads based on where the user is. User's over here, so you've decided I'm just gonna deal with what the fuck's going on over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then again, and you said people don't have success. Like Willie was the name that you threw out. That users corners and safeties outside of the box, outside of the numbers, and you feel like they don't have a lot of success against you. Is that what you're?
Yeah, I love to see that because that means you're just
Right.
not in the play. Because again, it also depends on what routes. Like Danny's 4 verts, right? If he had a drag or a slant, it changes the whole play. So even for people that struggle at all, like give yourself, hey, if this is not open, at least I know I have this route, right? Like on this play, before you even hike it or anything, I know I'm looking for that baby curl on left, but I think I have Jonathan Taylor on a wheel. So it's like, hey, if he's covering the left, I have the wheel. If he's covering the right, I should have the baby curl. Like, and it's things like that where you kind of give yourself another option, so you're not just like, oh my god, and panic throw it. Like even like when I was in 5 wide, and I told you I did the smoke screen, right? If it's not the coverage I want it to be, I'm just gonna check it down and try to get yards.
Right. I don't think anybody checks the smoke screen. I tried it one time and it got picked, so I don't run smoke screen anymore. I just don't like it's just not on my repertoire. Which is interesting. I probably might go back and I don't know who streamed our game or if it's even still available. So I use their outside in every time. I'm done using
Yeah.
this because I get picked the fuck up like all the time. People just mess with me, like they just throw at my user, whatever. And I'm wondering. I mean, I know it's not like I stop you a shit ton. I mean, it wasn't like Earl. I was using Earl that picked you off, but it's interesting to see that you like that look. When we play though, I'm always outside in, but I'm normally crashing outside in, whereas these guys tend to be like picking a route and staying with it. So it'll be interesting to
Yeah.
see. Maybe do
I
another detail on a game where you struggle. Maybe we'll just pick a game sometime. Maybe next year. Maybe you don't struggle next season in the past. But if there's a game next year you pass, it might be worth going to see where are you struggling? Because this was a perfect game. I don't think you made a bad read outside of when you ran with Aaron to the right and tried to throw, but you were up for like 20, 30 points in the Super. I think you can afford that one, right?
Yeah, it's still a bad play. But no, Aaron had no Aaron throws, which is awesome compared to last season with Eason. And
Right.
it's like a formation like this too is like if you're using the right side, I always like to use that side opposed to the trip side because like I feel like people are gonna try to throw levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Table and a corner or this or that. Like it's. I feel like if you take away the right side, it's easier. Than the left can be a little tricky.
Gotcha. How do you feel about open versus close side on your plays? Are you ever accounting for that much? or are
Um,
you?
offensively,
Yeah, like so. For example, I have a play that I really like. It's the play action. I know we're not in the formation here, but
the one with the wheel, like the
uh,
slot wheel.
you're no. It's just under. It's single back, and they're kind of. It's the only real tight formation I run, and it goes John Ross across the field here, a post here, and then after the play action fake, the running back is following. So it's like that.
Yeah.
That's literally the only routes. But for me, I only run it to the open side of the field. I will never run this play
Yes.
flip
Yes.
to the short
Yes.
side. Is that
No,
anything?
no. Trips is always wide. Trips is always wide every time because if it's not like, say, I'm running it flipped right now, that like if I'm running like a baby hook or something like that or the corner, it's too close and there's too many guys. You need like I think more space in trips.
Right, right. Spacing, and this is absolute murder. Like I'm surprised you don't kill. You probably just kill everybody with inside zone here, don't you? Like with this,
Yeah,
like
third and four though. I don't want to have like him hit me in the backfield or like a random like defensive lineman grab my guy. Like I want to be in control of the play more so than just like
okay,
running the ball.
okay. Well, Warren, that puts us at about an hour and 10. So, as much as I'd love to pick your brain, maybe I'll have you on for one of the other ones, another detail on some other games. But this was fun. It gets a little, I guess you would say, almost condescending to only do games where I'm helping somebody. So it's good. I appreciate you coming in and kind of sharing your knowledge on what got you to the. I think it's got to be your. Let's see, four. How many you win in 19? Five,
I
one,
think one.
five.
Yeah.
So this is
But this,
six. This is Super Bowl 6 for you. Um, so congrats on that. I'm sorry. Personal apology for not post game interviewing you. The little one had woke up in the middle of the games. I was under heavy pressure to get the fuck off.
no, no, it's no, it's
But
I'm glad to do it because we spoke about this for a long time. Like if there's ever a right scenario,
right,
and I think with this type of thing, it's I mean, look at Danny right there. Even before we end, is Danny's has something in mind what he thinks I'm going to do, and then I have something in mind that I think he's going to do. It's like and when you play at that type of game, it makes it so much more fun because like you're trying to confuse the other person and they're trying to confuse you. He's trying to catch me on a bubble screen or a quick, maybe my double curl play that I run from this formation, things like that. And I think that's what makes Madden fun when it is like that type of chess match and not just like, just call cover three and just, hang out. So, Danny obviously is again like one of the best players in the league. He's been for a long time, and we don't get to match up enough. It's one of those things that we don't really get to play that often. So like getting to play him in this, I mean, all day at work, honestly, I was like, damn, I don't want to play Danny tonight. I honestly was like, I don't want to play him. I don't want to play him. I don't want to lose the Super Bowl. I don't want to get to Super Bowls and not win because that's worse to me than not making it. So
right, right.
props to him. He gave me, a great game. I just execution wise, like I just everything kind of just worked out in my favor.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I think this serves as a pretty solid post game interview for you, anyway. So I think I made up for my shortcomings. But yeah, man, we'll get you on next time. Thanks for sharing the knowledge. Maybe some guys have learned something and they're gonna go try and replicate it, and then they're gonna fail miserably because it's not easy. It's not easy to do what you're doing. None of what I think maybe 2 of the 10 things we discussed is something I could execute within the next season, just because it's so too much. Zero chance I take both my linebackers in man and go hard flat and then probably use their safety down and then let everybody else man out. Like that's just not something happening at all. But that's why you have a ring and I don't. So all right, well, I will catch you next time, bro. And guys that were watching, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you like this, let me know so we can go more often with guys like Danny, other folks in the league.